was the only thing that really fit my needs as someone who was traveling and had experienced this.
I called right away, and right from the beginning, I felt a huge sense of relief.
I don't know where I would have been if it hadn't been for the assistance from this organization.
I felt just instantly like there was a hug over the phone. Calling just gave me that first step of knowing at least someone's there for me.
I had a friend reach out to me from Australia. She had let me know that she just got her scuba diving certification and she was teaching classes, and it was something I'd always wanted to do.
The school that I went to had this teaching program in Costa Rica, so I thought that might be a good place for me to go next in my life.
I based the program on what I experienced overseas, but then as we have grown over the past 17 years, more and more aspects of this work come into focus as we get different cases from different parts of the world. And in 2010, we saw an increase in calls from American women and a few men who had been sexually assaulted in foreign countries. Now we have a full 2 programs, the domestic violence program, and then also SASHAA, sexual assault support and help for Americans abroad.
Anthony was one of the students taking the scuba diving course. We hung out a few times after classes. I even told him that I only dated women. He just seemed like a nice guy.
AODVC and SASHAA are very committed to providing inclusive services to people of all genders and sexualities. And our case managers are trained to provide emotional support and advocacy to LGBTQ survivors of abuse.
He just attacked me. As soon as I could get away, I just went back to Anna's and I just sat on her porch until she got home.
I met Jason at orientation. He seemed really nice. I decided that I was going to go on a hike after school one day and to ask him to join me halfway up the mountain. That's when he took advantage of me.
We've reached out to universities all over the United States, especially their study abroad programs. Sexual assault is in the media now. There's a lot of sexual assault prevention programs.
After that, I went home and I was beside myself. I didn't know what to feel, how to feel, and I didn't know anyone there.
With SA survivors, we want to make sure that they have the space that they need to tell their story, but that there's no pressure to tell it in any kind of cadence or time limits.
I was so scared, and as soon as Pamela picked up the phone, she was warm and welcoming and calming. I just felt listened to.
Her next steps were seeking medical attention, after which she was very interested in being connected to a lawyer. She wanted to get an understanding of her rights in Australia as far as reporting the crime.
I asked Ariel to help me navigate my way back to the United States, but also my concern of my dog because I had just gotten her.
For a lot of survivors, their pets are extremely important for coping with the abuse and healing from trauma. And Rain had rescued this dog when she was down in Costa Rica. And it was really important to her that the dog could come back to the United States with her.
We can relocate pets back to the United States. We'll also pay to have the vet certificates done, shots, the crate for the airline flight. We want to provide a continuum of services where the survivor's at the center and we have a case manager with that survivor to work through every process. Do they need to go to a doctor? Do they need an exam? Do they need a rape kit? We can pay for all of that. We try to provide whatever we can to make this difficult process as easy as possible.
I was connected to a lawyer in the area that was able to see me within 24 hours for a consult. He offered to help me with everything free of cost.
In Australia, it is not illegal to report sexual assaults. In some countries, it would be unsafe to walk into a hospital and seek medical attention based on those types of injuries. In certain countries, it's illegal to have sex outside of marriage, so sexual assault would fall under that category.
People can email us at knowbeforeyougo@866uswomen.org or call our hotline. And one of our regional experts will send a country profile with information on cultural norms, laws around gender-based violence, and then instructions on how to reach us toll-free from that country.
You can't go wrong by calling, even if it's just for some emotional support. Knowing that I'm making a step, taking my power back was helpful.
We want people to travel. I mean, study abroad is an amazing experience. We hope nobody is sexually assaulted. But if they are, we are here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.